Hi guys, and welcome to yet another episode of Project Perfumery India. It's Mohit here, and after a long time, I'll be creating something similar to what I did with Rishikesh. So Rishikesh was one of the experience captured into the bottle, so that anybody who smells it and has been to that place, or how he imagines that place to be, it comes alive, something like that. So it's like capturing a whole place aroma in aromatic ways into a bottle. So this time it's more of a travelogue sort of thing I shot, but then as I could not carry the whole lot of ingredients, plus once you reach there, you discover a lot of new, your nose starts picking up a lot of smells. So then you come up with, okay, I need this. So I made my whole ingredient list, and then I quickly called the other guy on Kannauj, which is Afur Rahman from India Perfumer. He's my sole provider for all the aromatic compounds and all 100% natural. So I gave him the list quickly. So there I taught two blends basically. One being inspired from a very snowy, icy area which is called Gulmarg, and that's like ahead of Kashmir. And second one we have taught is making Kashmir. So that is like more of on saffron plus rose combination and quite complex, so it's taking a little bit of time. With that, we'll be also launching our first attar in Kannauj Perfumery by name of Jannat-e-Kashmir. So these two things are what I wanted to say, and what we are making right now is more of the second version of, there was one scent I created before, because I keep on creating blends, not like in the commercial way, but like say 500 ml or 1000 ml, and then I test around on my like Facebook group, Instagram people. So and then I take quick feedback. I have a whole mechanism where we then accordingly I decide on it. So Himalayan Sandalwood was what I made first, which was an instant like people who loved 80s powerhouses, the cypress vibe, the pine wood, the green woody vibe. So they absolutely loved it. Even some people picked up a full bottle too. And then this one, when I reached there, so of course that was more of the imaginary version, that how the cedarwood trees in Himalayas would smell like. Then I visited there and come back, so this is more like the version 2. So what we are calling it is Gulmarg Himalayan Cedarwood 2, something like that. So here's my ingredient list. So this, like, I'll tell you what happened once I came back from there. I got this after traveling a lot. I got COVID, so my nose was like dud for good 3 weeks. Though I was asymptomatic on other fronts, but yeah, I was isolated at home and been putting a lot of thought around it. And then I'm already working on another project around naturals, which is called Kannauj Perfumery. So these are like more like the test bottles or the pre-release bottles. The final presentation is going to be grande. So yeah, this is Kohinoor 8. This is Kohinoor Oud, Trifecta Lotus. Then this is like the main entrant in the line, Mush Good, and this is the Indian Summer. So 4, and then there are total 8. Then there's a discovery set available as well. I'll post the link below. So here, this is more like a journey of exploring naturals, specifically from India. Like 95%, 5% ingredients we do use. Like in this one, I'll be using the Siberian birch tar, which is from Siberia, which is not in India. So yeah, it's like only this one ingredient what we have in the whole list is not from India. Rest everything is from India. We have this cedarwood oil. This is what I used in very first version. I just used this along with synthetic base, but this what I'm making is 100% natural. So this is cedarwood oil from the region is Himalaya, and it's pure and natural. I'm not going to tell the price right now, but I'll give you an estimate. I won't give you what figure, like it's a kg or a 10 kg or something like that. So this is around $5,000. I'm not telling what is like 100 gram or anything. This is Attar Kevra, which is like a traditional attar from India. So if any perfume is coming out from India, this should be like a top up sort of thing. So this is Attar Kevra. So it's more like GFK what I have in my Attar version. So if you read out on Kevra, it's basically comes from a region in India which is called Orissa. So it comes from there. The next ingredient I have is neroli oil. If you see, I haven't even opened it yet, but yes, I'll be exploring this here. So yeah, pricing on this one would be some $3,000, but rest you could probably Google it up. This is neroli oil, again pure and natural, so it's like nicely tealed. So this guy, what happened, this is like my whole and soul for all natural. I just told them there that, you know, there I discovered like walnut is something which is very much dominant in that particular region, so I really never imagined that before, that particular note. Then cinnamon bark was one thing which I discovered after being there. It's used mostly in culinary there, so I added it. I asked him to source it for me. Sometimes this guy, Afiraman, he takes a month for me to get a particular, like the Siberian birch is like one of the rarest discoveries he has made, and he was only able to get like a kg. I took like half a kg, and it's so strong and potent, I'm still not able to. This is like a 750 ml flacon and decanter, and I haven't even able to use like 200 grams, and I make like burst Alexa on like dozen spaces daily, so it's just like a tinge of it and it gives that boom whole smokiness to the blend. So yeah, this is my go-to guy, so I'll put his contact as well below. So cinnamon bark oil is what I discovered. So this is like around $300 for this bottle, is like 100 gram and pure and natural. Why I'm giving you the price range is because what I want to give you, there are a lot of aspiring, you know, perfumers, artists who are working in French perfumery and want to discover Indian perfumery as well, because this aspect has never been explored as in depth like Arabic or Russian perfumery or, you know, lot regional perfumeries. But India has been like had rich heritage and has been from like centuries, the perfumery has been inhabited. So this is another ingredient which is not from India. It's called Javanese patchouli oil. This, it's more my sourcing guys call that he gave me this one, asking that, you know, if I use this one, if I use this is better than the usual Indian patchouli. So I was like, all right, I take your word for it. And this is like sandalwood. It's like a mixture of 5 kind of wood. So this is more like called true wood, and I've used as it is in my Mysore blend. Let me show you the bottle of Mysore. So see here. So this is my Mysore 571444, which is like this particular oil just, you know, diluted in parfum concentration or 25% concentration, and it's like really nice, airy, creamy, natural sandalwood. So this one comes with 5 kind of, whoa, I love it, absolutely love it. 5 kind of sandalwood. So you get that kind of, you know, if you been raised in India, or if anyone from your family traveled back from India, there used to be like wooden pencils made out of sandalwood. You write from them, or when you sharpen them, and it used to smell sandalwood. That kind of opening it has. That Mysore sandalwood is like the major. Then second one it has is African sandalwood. It's already in it, and I have it separately as well, just because like African sandalwood is has that got more aromatic profile, like how Indian sandalwood has milky profile. This one has more aromatic profile, where you get that more woodiness. So that's why I use this. And then third thing this has is Gaik wood, this true wood. Then fourth it is using is a hint of cedar wood, and fifth one is Australian sandalwood. That's again another leaf. So it's a combination of various woody elements, and that's what makes it true wood. But if I have to classify, this goes into how various species of or varieties of sandalwood are. So this one I'm using as a base in this whole composition. Next, I already showed this African sandalwood. Then I have resinous oak moss, again natural, but we'll be using in traces because this is way too strong. So I was saying, as my nose recovered while I was, so a lot of people asked me to cover it, that how I was my, you know, post olfactive recovery after COVID. So I'll tell you, for 3 weeks there was no, I was able to taste, but there was no smell whatsoever. And like we are so used to smelling, it feels like, you know, where one of the major scents has been missing. So for that reason, you know, you would try to sniff too hard one of the fragrances or just spray it on, but you really can't help it. All I would say, some people ask me to do stick steam and all that, but I really didn't do anything like that. So I just let it go, but I used to at least sniff every day so that, is it back, and then it was slowly coming back. So then it took around good 15 to 20 days or I would say a whole month to recover fully. That's why I was not shooting any of the videos, and now I am back on the action mode. Right, so next I have is clove bud oil. Clove is another thing which I explored there. I sniffed it naturally. I'll be putting like bits and pieces of some shots I have taken there, so you guys would get what's the thought process behind. Right, so clove bud oil, it really smells of clove. So why I'm using this is to create that chill effect of those icy mountain peaks. Cinnamon bark oil I already showed, so let me open them, and already 10 minutes on this, so I already have it in mind. I've tried, I'm doing it for like third time, this whole blend, and just before that I made goat moss, which was like a complex oak moss blend which involved several techniques, and then finally I had to filter it out, and I got like two versions of it. One is like a solid attar version, then the second one was more like the crystal version. So let me open these all. So I already showed the ingredient list, what we are using. Some we will be using in traces, some in as the major component. What I'm trying to make is a 1000 ml yield. So I have to go for somewhere around 300 grams of material, or the solid part, or the oil part, not exactly solid, of the ingredient. So what I've thought, and I'm as usual documenting what I'm just using the basic equipments here, nothing major, nothing more scientific than this grammar. Then apart from the oils, what I have is this premix. This is actually a hand sanitizer sort of, just plain unscented sanitizer which has ethanol, and it comes like this in the usual amber bottle. So this one is more like sanitizer, we market it like sanitizer, but I personally use it in making my own fragrances. This is available on Amazon India for like $2.99 100 ml. This is something non-profit I wanted to do and share out with you people who can convert oils, their attars, into perfumes. Like for example, this one is 100 ml, and I have deliberately left this gap of 10 ml which is measured, or this is around 8 ml if you really do not fill it to the brim. So all you have to do, I will show you the usual attar bottles. So I have is this one. This is called Ahojas by Oil Perfumery. So it's inspired from Hindalut Ahoja, a really good Arabic blend, and this is also 8 ml. So it's more like a complementing product. This also we are selling exclusively, not exclusively, but on Amazon and Perfumery. So all you have to do is transfer it, put on the sprayer, and it's pretty much ready. And you can let it sit in the fridge for a while, because it takes whole process of the infusing the synthetic molecule and all. But yeah, it's like something really handy. But leaving that aside, that's like one of the fun projects I usually do whenever there is like less traction. So this is what I did when we had the last lockdown, but after that we just liquidated these all for like $5.99, $4.99. I think there are still some on Amazon.in. If you go and type Ministry of Cologne, you would see virtual X and some more at like kilo price 100 ml. So yeah, this will be using for it as the ethanol base. Right, getting started, I would just get it down here. What we are making is Gulmarg. What is the landscape on my mind is snow-capped mountains, and we have lot of pine trees. We have this woodiness in the air, this chilliness in the air. For that chilliness factor, I'm using two components here. One is called peppermint oil, again from Afiraman. So peppermint oil, from the sniff itself, it's like very chilly. And the second thing I'm using is clove bud oil. As I said, I was thinking before I actually went there, I was thinking of using rosemary, but this is like much upgraded version to it. Right, I'll be taking my notes as well, so that later on if I have to recreate, this is like the very basic thing that you have to note down all the readings. So normally I record it and then later revisit it, but yeah, I have my laptop right in front of me, so I'll type it down. So we are reset to 0. The first thing I'm using here is True Wood, because this I imagine as one of the best long-lasting base that we could have. So I am going around 50 grams on it. So it's like 1/6 of my composition. So it's a little bit more. So let's make it 60. 62.75. So I go here and write True Wood 62.75. So this way it's like accurately calibrated. Next time I have to do it, I don't have to, you know, put a lot of thought around it. The next composition is definitely going to be Sandalwood oil, which is like the first, it's like the more like the successor to it. So I'll be putting around the same amount. So this will go up till 120. So this would be more of woody and sandalwood plus cedarwood on the base. What we are creating right now is the base. If you see, the total blend we have to go is 300, and this would go up to 117. I try to keep it like round. Cedarwood. So this is like up to 120. So 57.25. 57.25. So I'm going by grams right now. Some people prefer ml, but I prefer the gram is more precise. Guys, I think we'll keep it like this. And next, what I'm thinking is patchouli. So it's like the sequence which really matter. It's not like how you put it all together. It's like what sequence you're putting it, how you really want to structure the notes. More you play around with these basic attars, put it on your skin and see how it's evolving. For example, this patchouli is like really beautiful for first 1 hour, and after that it's more very faint. That has a problem with natural. They really do not last long. So that's why I'm using one of the longest lasting base in this. So patchouli oil, I really cannot add too much, but I want that nice warm spicy vibe. So let's go till 20. So it's like 1 till 140. So it's like my 4th attempt. 1 attempt I did with what I carried there, but that was like an epic failure. So I'm going with this one in a better setup. Yeah, so this is like my first shot in the new studio because of this whole COVID thing, lockdowns. Thankfully I was able to get it done by within March, and then I went to Dubai for completing a little, we completed a lot of pending work there, and then to Kashmir, and then came back, got COVID, and then so now this is like the first shot. So expect a lot of things like this coming, and I'll be inviting over some people as well, and we could make out blends. And if you want your personal blend, imagine you can just visit here, or we could do a Zoom call and just get it done. How easy. So as it sounds. Coming to patchouli, so I added like 20 grams of patch, exactly to be precise 21. Right, so the 3 ingredients are in. Next up, let me sniff this patchouli neroli first, and I could probably use it in that, along with what the chili factor. I'm not chili, but like the snowy factor, that breezy freeze, chili freeze, freezing cold kind of, that kind of factor I'm creating. So there, I think this would go. So it smells really like neroli portofino, I would say, but it's natural, not like the synthetic. Wow, so I'm using it for sure on the, on the finishing touches. So next one we have is patchouli done. This I'm using later. Cinnamon bark oil. I really do not have to go way too heavy on it, so I'm going around 10 grams on it, and it cost this costed me around $500 for 100 grams. So it's like I'm just adding 10 because see, I'll tell you why these are expensive, because you really do not need to use a whole lot of them when you are blending perfumes. Depending upon your budget, some people who are blending go real with really precious elements, but just at the end you're putting it on your skin and it has to fade. So again, it has a, every people have their different aspects. Some fragrances I've seen which are natural going for like thousands of dollars on eBay. So it's more like a premium factor attached to it. People who love the artist show their love by bidding on their product. So it's as simple as that. But what I'm trying to create here is more of an experimental blend, which a lot of initial people who would grab it, samples of full bottles, would give me the first hand feedback. And if it's really good, I might make it next year, like version 2.0 or 3.0, something like that. But more or less what I have on table is 2 kg of ingredients. Out of 2 kg of ingredient, I can make about 150 bottles. So I'm not going for that high number right now because I really, the supply is stuck. I have some good 30, 40, 50 ml bottle and a whole lot of samples I received today. So I'm going for cinnamon bark oil and clove bud oil. Resonant oak moss I'm done with 10. Let me write it down. There is another approach too. Once I make this blend, I could send it out to various fragrance labs out there, and they would try because these ingredients really change every year based on how the yield has been, how the rains have been. If a particular area which makes patchouli or XYZ and there haven't really been good harvest, you won't get that quality. But if it has been a good harvest, you get that. But I right now I would say it's a good harvest because I explored it as I recovered my nose. This is what I jumped on. I had these waiting. I posted it on my social as well, and a lot of people went curious about it. So I added oak moss, resinous oak moss, which is more like the resin part, 10, and now I'm adding equal around 7.5 of cinnamon and clove bud, 50. Right, 7.5 and 7.5 of clove bud oil. I really have to go slow. So if you guys see, it's really not going. I'm still on 160 and I have to go till 300. That's alright. I really do not have to go by the what I've decided before. It might change, right? I think I'll be good with around 200 with the amount, the proportion I've used. So this is clove bud and cinnamon bark. I'll document it. Done. And clove. Alright, so now we have our final touch of peppermint oil and neroli oil. So this one I really have to go slow because if I add too much of it, the moment it's quick fade. It really do not last really long, but once you spray it, you would get that woody, chili, floral vibe from it. So let's do it. I'm going around 10 to start with, and if needed I would add more. I have to be really right. And then neroli oil I'm going around, what I have right now is around 183, so I'm going till 200, so I'm adding the rest of neroli oil in this. Good, I'm on 205, let's make it 210, because even this ingredient, these are all, this is what makes the top notes. So depending on the feedback on this version, next version I'll be probably, if I have these accessible. Right, one more thing we are forgetting, we are on 210 right now. Let me show you guys how it looks like. Ta-da. We'll fill it up in the decanter. So it looks opulent golden juice, all natural, and I'll be adding small touch of Siberian birch to give you that nice birch vibe. So this birch has like a lot of medicinal properties as well. So that is it. This is it, guys. Trust me, when you're using on birch, you have to be that slow or that minute. So we are on 210. I'll be filling it up. So it's like each is 100 ml precise. So I simply add 100. So I'll go till 800. So I would be needing 6 of these. First one gone here. This already has some portion of glycerin which acts as a So I'm not using the regular glycerin what these people add in hand sanitizer, but what I'm using is more of a glycol variant, which is called, it is like glyco. This is, in general, it's called Lubrizol sort of. So you have to get, I buy like half a kg and I put it in like a whole gallon, half a kg of that glycerin variant, and I come up with this. It's glycerin but more stable, which is more heat sensitive along with your body heat. It releases the aroma, the oil part. So I'm done with 4. I was needing 2 more. Let me get 2 more. Because with converting these and the last one, and we would have our Himalayan Cedarwood Chapter 2 Gulmarg, which is one of the top skiing points in the world. It's called highest gondola in the world. It is like a ski spot. So if you are a ski enthusiast, you can check that out. So right now it's slight murky. I have to mix it. It will go through a process of. So I just use the. I'm just putting it in this bottle. So I let it sit for 1 or 2 days, put it in the chiller, and then filter it couple of times, because issue with naturals is they really do not go well. The oil part, they have a lot of oil part which reacts with ethanol, or the water part in it which reacts with ethanol and give you this murkiness. It's the water part in the naturals which gives you this white thing. So naturals, if you are an avid naturals collector, or you have used natural perfume, you would have noticed that once with time they would have just deposits, especially vetiver fragrances and those sort. So it's mixed. We have a clear liquid because sometimes it takes time to dissolve as well. I'll be adding one final touch to it so that it doesn't go murky again. Is a fixative, which is, this also has its own smell, more like ISO. This smells more ambrate, powdery silver. I won't be adding too much, but 5 ml in, like, this is around, I would say around 800 ml or 800 grams. So I'll be adding around 8 grams, or no, not even 8 grams. 8 grams, 1% basically. So I have to go by the oil or the whole entire volume ratio, not just the oil ratio. Earlier what I was considering the oil ratio. This is the whole volumetric ratio I'm using. So what this does, this stabilizes the whole mixing process, and that murkiness doesn't come. Because perfumes, if they are non-staining, non-murky, that's how standard they should be. So it will be getting mixed. So this is my fragrance ready, which is called Gulmarg Himalayan Cedarwood Chapter 2. So I will be adding link where to pick up a sample or where to pick up the bottle. I'll be coming up a artwork on it, something more like a mountain or Himalaya mountain range, cedarwoods, pine woods, and there's the whole story behind it. It's Mohit checking out. Stay tuned. See ya. Bye bye.